Today's sequence is for back health. So if you have a tweaky back or any injuries, this will do a really nice job kind of loosening everything up down here and in the hips. So to start, we'll come into knee pile, stacking the left knee over the right. If that doesn't work for you, you can always just come into a nice cross-legged position. But I'm going to stack my knees out. Make sure that my feet are somewhat even. Keep them flexed. Hands come down by the hips to start. Inhale to lift up out of the hips. Exhale, walk my hands slowly forward with a flat back. And then once you hit your breaking point, let the head and neck go. And it's not about how far you go here. It's really about tractioning that low back out, pushing the chest forward, and then relaxing through here. I feel this really deeply in my left hip. So you can take, as many breaths as you want. I'll probably do about 3. Inhales, I'm feeling my ribs growing away from my hips. Exhales, I'm trying to let that head and neck go completely. And on exhale, I'll come back up. From here, I'm just going to slide my left foot onto my right knee, coming into knee pile, making sure that top foot is stacked right over the knee, keeping the foot flexed. And then if there's a big gap here, you can either put a block or a rolled up mat, whatever works for you, you can do that here. So inhale, again, you're lifting up out of sits bones. Exhale, start to walk forward. I'm super tight in my hips for today for some reason. So notice I'm not going that far. I'm feeling this intensely. Inhale, traction that chest forward. Exhale, and letting everything go. You can either stay here. It might feel good for you if you're okay with twist to start to walk the hands over to the right side of your body. Even trying to get that elbow into the crease of the foot. You can either stay here, or if you want to keep going, ooh, that was tight for me. Start to twist. I like to make a fist and then rock my right hand over. And then letting that head and neck go. As my head goes. One more big inhale. And then exhale, I'll just walk back to center. And then come back up. All right, other side. I'll stack the right knee over the left to start. Coming into knee pile. Inhale to lift. Then exhale, walk those hands forward, keeping my feet flexed. Letting head and neck go completely. Keep that breath deep. And just take notice of which side feels tighter, which side feels more open. We're different on every side. Nobody's the same on either side. Feeling for tractioning the ribs forward, letting that head and neck go. I'm starting to feel my hips pop up a little, so I'm just going to come up a little, making sure I stay grounded in my hips. I feel this intensely on my right outer hip right now. One more big inhale. Exhale to curl up. Coming right into ankle to knee. Again, stacking that right foot on top of the left ankle. I'm tighter on the side. I have an old injury on my right hamstring, so I'll take my rolled up mat or block and just place it right under my knee. Inhale to lift up out of hips, and then exhale, start to walk forward. And this feels really juicy for me. Letting my head and neck go. Inhale to feel that breath expand into side ribs here. And then exhale, letting everything go in the head and neck and shoulders. Take one more inhale. Exhale, walk everything back up. Move that roll out of the way. And then you'll actually need this. So the way that I make my roll is I take my blanket or a towel, I fold it into threes. I take that fringe side and roll it. Coming into abs with the roll, this is my favorite ab move. I do it pretty much every time I get onto my yoga mat. Take the roll, place it all the way down at the pubic bone, and then for back tweaky, keep the feet down, work with the knees in tabletop, or if you're okay and you're just looking to up-level it a little bit, keep those legs nice and straight. I'm going to work with my knees in tabletop today just because my back is feeling funky. Clasp hands at the base of the skull. Elbows or shoulder width distance. Inhale, hold the breath. Feel the tailbone lift. My low back is pressing into the mat. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulder blades lift. Belly button drags down to the mat. Inhale to lay the head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone, squeeze the roll. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulder blades lift. Pull the low belly down. Inhale, lay the head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone. I'm pressing my low back into the ground. Squeeze that roll. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulder blades lift. Pull belly down. Inhale. Lay the head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Squeeze the block. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulder blades lift. Pull the belly down. Inhale to lay the head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone. Squeeze the roll. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulder blades lift. I'm pulling my belly button down. Inhale, lay the head down. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone out. Squeeze the block. Exhale, head, neck, and shoulder blades lift. Pull belly down. I'm curling tailbone second time. Squeezing that roll a second time. Exhale, lay the head down. Lay the feet down. You can take that roll away. We'll use it again in a minute. And just kind of feel what that did for your body. And abs are so good for releasing low back stuff. So that's why I like to include it in any little sequence that I'll do for my back, kind of rock it out. And then I'll come up, taking that roll again. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit skinnier. It's a big fat roll that I just made. And we're actually going to come onto the roll on our stomachs, which again is really good for releasing that low back. So I'll take the roll, I'll place it in between my belly button and my pubic bone, and I'm going to lay on it. Ugh, it does not feel very good. But it's a really good way to get into the back. Oftentimes you can, people will do stomach massage to release that low back. This is the same idea. So I'm just laying on it. And I'm breathing really deeply. You may need to shift around a little to kind of get the right spot, but generally speaking, it's in between your hip bones, your pubic bone, and your belly button that you want the roll. And it should feel uncomfortable. You'll know it's right if it doesn't feel so great. And from here, I'll take my hands into Cobra, or setting up for Cobra, next to my shoulders. Inhale, feel the chest lift. Exhale. Drag the ribs over the roll, Cobra over the roll. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Feel that back extend over the roll. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the ribs go forward, tractioning out the back. I'm just going to stay here for a few more breaths. And then I'm just gonna pick myself up. Woo, that's intense. And take the rope away. And then to end, I'll come onto my back, setting up for a back release or a reclined pigeon. I don't like to get in traditional pigeon personally for my back, so I prefer to come onto my back, cross my ankle over one of my knees, thread the hands in between, and come into a nice figure four stretch, keeping my feet flexed for knee health. Relax those shoulders. We have a tendency when we're on our backs to kind of hike them up. Just be mindful about that. I like to take my left hand, put it on my left knee, opening up my hips sometimes too. It feels really good for me. Might not feel great for everyone. And then exhale, release. We'll simply switch sides, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Inhale to feel the legs drag in, keeping both feet flexed again, making sure my shoulders are rolling away from my ears. Inhale. Exhale, feel those hips get heavy. And obviously, if you want more of a stretch, I would stay in the pose for longer. Just press pause on your YouTube and stay in these poses for as long as feels good for your body. Releasing out of that, hugging both knees in. Before I take a final little resting pose, placing both feet on the ground, I take my hands like this, place them into the crease of my hips, and then I'll inhale. Exhale, push my hips away from my body, straightening out my arms. Feeling for that low back traction. It feels very intense for me, but very good. And then inhale to release. This one's kind of tricky sometimes if you don't have somebody helping you for the first few times trying it. But give it a whirl. Place those hands right in those creases of the hips. Inhale. And then exhale, I'll push my thighs away, feeling for that low back, getting nice and long. And then release, put both knees into the chest, roll that out, and then set up into a nice